Hello, senators and legates. There are many neat features in Divide Et Impera, some because of bugs, others due to the ideas from the DEI team itself, or also the few small details from the vanilla game that are either too good to leave out or just can't be removed. Now I'll talk to you about 5 hidden features that you might not know about and how they will help you in your campaigns. Have you ever wondered how Carthaginian armies somehow always end up having one army in Iberia, just for them to stay in Carthage itself 2 turns later? It would take several turns going by land. Setting sail is equally as troublesome. But there is a trick to it. If you leave your army docked inside a port during the end turn, they will receive bonuses that allow them to travel the same distance as a ship. Many would probably expect to take sea attrition from this, myself included, but that is not the case. During the mid to late game, you can use this to travel your armies from one side of your empire to another in a matter of few turns. Or perhaps in the early game as Rome, if you want to conquer Corsica and Sardinia and don't want to invest in a sizable navy to compete with your Carthaginian neighbors, you can always use this method and thus don't get stuck at sea to be thrashed by them. Another small gem is you can take your priest, druid, governor, or whatever they're called to steal gold for you. All you need to do is have them in neutral or enemy territory and deploy them. Personally, I prefer to keep them stationary in your own provinces, but if they start far away from your territory, like in the Macedonian Wars campaign for Rome, you can deploy them every second turn to gain a small portion of extra gold to spend. It is not much, but sometimes it can give you that last bit of gold you need. Another major problem for me is that I usually like to own an entire province for myself. But if, for some forsaken reason, your allies end up with one of the regions, you are forced to go to war with them or leave them be. Not an optimal solution, immersion breaking even for some. I would usually just say screw it and go full on Peter Baelish on their ass, betray them and take it for myself. But that doesn't need to be the case. If you go into the characters overview, you can see all the different political options. In theory, I could fill out this list alone with them, as people, or just me at least, tend to forget about their existence. But if you tap on the diplomatic missions option and set them to your ally, there's a chance they might give you that town. I don't know the chances of it working though, but whenever I've attempted this, it always worked within the first 5 turns of trying. To give an example of this, in my Pergamon campaign on YouTube, I had conquered most of Asia Minor apart from Ephesus, which was controlled by Egypt. After a few turns of using the diplomatic missions, they gave it over to me and I had the entire province for myself. However, there are many different outcomes from this, either positive in the form of large sums of gold, research and etc. Some bad too, penalties or even death of the character you sent on that mission. But the better relations you already have with that faction, the more likely it is you'll get a positive result. For the next one here, I can say with 90% certainty that it is a bug. If you capture a, let's say, level 3 town from a foreign culture and don't convert it into yours, you will be able to recruit unit variants not necessarily given access to by your culture. For example, in my Sparta campaign, I captured a town in Lugi, a Germanic town way up in the north of the map. As long as it was its native culture, it would allow me to recruit Sarmatian cataphracts, an elite and powerful unit that wasn't available in the Hellenic version of that town. This might be gone in the future depending on whenever you get to watch this, but as long as it is there, it is a valid strategy to gain superior troops like cavalry for the Spartans who are in desperate need of those. If you have ever mustered a horse unit in Divide Et Impera, you might have seen this horse symbol mentioning what breed it is. All of these stands for their own specific multiplier, and is a good way to show what nations had cavalry just a tad bit better than the rest. For example, the Nicene breed is fast and heavy, making them excellent for charging. Numidian and Thessalian cavalry are extremely fast, making them perfect for skirmishing, and so on. It is a good indicator to use whenever you are deciding your army composition and how to use them. These are just 5 of many hidden features that I thought some of you might not have known about or just didn't fully understand. Use them with care, and if you're planning to use any of them in a head-to-head, make sure to crush your enemies. But until the next time everyone, goodbye.